As my GPAI-1 Game Performance Assessment Indicator has suggested, with a 1 out of 5 score in that category, my tactical limitation is exploiting attacking space. Therefore, this begged the research question, how can constraint-led activities, task constraints, rate limiters, and GPAIs be implemented and identified to help enhance exploiting attacking space for a less experienced player in netball? An implication that arose when I transitioned from training constraint-led activities to actual gameplay was that I found myself implementing these specialized movement sequences while playing predominantly wing defense. On one hand, I had to prevent space for the opposition to run onto and have close proximity. However, on the other hand, when the ball changed hands quickly from defending to moving the ball down the court when my team was in possession, I had to assist in setting up the attack. Overall, it was clearly documented that my constraint-led activity wasn't that effective. However, it did assist in my change of a role as a defender. In order to answer the research question, each topic implemented and identified must be defined. A constraint-led activity is a training approach which may include either a personal, task, or environmental constraint which encourages the athletes to practice certain movements and techniques. A rate limiter is an individual constraint or system that holds back the emergence of a motor skill. Rate limiters that I have discovered include congestion, which revolves around teammates and opposition players, poor or rushed decision making, which is linked to the 3-second rule in netball, psychological, which is mental, confidence, motivation due to the lack of experience, and my non-risk-taking personality. Lastly, my lack of experience. In other sports I've played, such as AFL, I am used to playing on a larger ground and being able to tackle the opposition player, rather than being limited to a 3-foot distance. My constraint-led activity was a 2 vs 3, 1 floating attacker end zone styled game. To score, players had to catch the ball over the end zone line. They couldn't just stand in the end zone, as this did not help explore and identify the tactical solutions. 5 seconds were allowed to get rid of the ball, which it is generally 3, and a 2-meter distance restriction was set between the attacker and defender when they were in the possession of the ball. This was implemented to create more space and decrease pressure built. I played as a floating attacker, as exploiting attacking space was the tactical solution that was being addressed. What I observed through my personal constraint-led activity was less congestion allowed for more creative space to be exploited, and more time holding the ball allowed for perceptual awareness to be utilized. The concepts of decision-making, read, react, respond, and recover are connected with perceptual awareness, as the more time provided to make a decision in the situation will result in the best chance you will be aware of the most effective pass. I was responding and reading the play much better than the initial game because of more experience and tactical strategies. This gave me more confidence, which is a psychological rate limiter, to leave my opposition player to create attacking space. This was evident during this game session on multiple occurrences. This session also allowed me to find out my most effective position in netball, as it requires transferable skills from AFL. Setting up and exploiting attacking space is one of my weaknesses in netball, which is supported by my GPA I2 score of 3 in this category, as well as a graph which shows the movement strategies demonstrated during actual gameplay. When looking back at my second GPAI for evidence of implications, I discovered that intersecting in one-on-one or zone defense became a noticeable strength/implication which I performed in other students' constraint-led activities. This was somewhat caused because I played predominantly as a defender. In conclusion, evidence has supported an improvement in my netball gameplay through the implementation and identification of constraint-led activities, task constraints, rate limiters, and GPAIs. The tactical strategy that emerged from my constraint-led activity was I improved at understanding how to use the court most effective and create space efficiently. Therefore, I could create space between my opposition player relationships to support my teammates and ultimately result in setting up the play.